Howdy, howdy, howdy. All right, now we are live. I think we're live. I'm live. Are y'all live? Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Welcome to Cliff Notes, and apologies for starting just a little bit late. It's been a hectic day. You almost didn't get it. You almost were just watching a blank screen here for a little while. I could have shown you my peeps in the background. Kept you busy with that perhaps for a second, but I'm here. I'm glad y'all are here as well. SKD 143. I love my wife. I love my kids, and I love all my fellow reality TV fans and all of y'all guys out here. Thank you so much. It's just a great way to start a Monday. I love coming out here and doing some talking. But with that being said, as I mentioned, it was a little tight. I was not here at home. I was trying to rush from downtown Houston out to my house, and traffic is just, you never know there's COVID going on anymore now because traffic was horrible, a few wrecks here and there. And so I rushed into the house and doing everything I can to get ready. So for those of you who may not realize it, you know me, I talk forever, but normally I do try to have a few notes here and there and just a few bullet points of things that we can talk about. And I count on y'all to throw a few conversations in there as well. And y'all never let me down, but I'm going to be dependent on y'all tonight as well, because I didn't do any notes. I got a few things I was going to talk about Easter and all that. So we'll talk, we'll have fun, but a little more freeform this evening. So guys, help me out as much as you can, because if I do traffic, I do have my caffeine. That's always, that'll help out a little bit as well. But I hope y'all are all doing fantastic. See all my friends out here. So welcome. I hope you all had a fantastic Easter. We're going to talk about Easter here in just a little bit, because I had fun for all kinds of reasons. So we've got that. Don, I was about to DM you, Cliff. Well, thank you for watching out for me, Don. I do appreciate it. Trust me. Ma was a little bit late. I was just waiting for Ma to get out here, right? No, I thank you. I know that there were several of y'all already out here waiting. So trust me, I'm not gonna let y'all guys down. If I don't show up at 7 o'clock at night, it could mean something horrible's happened, or I've taken the express jet up to Mars or something at Elon Musk's invitation. Probably just means my internet's down, but trust me, this takes priority on Monday evenings. I would miss it. I would feel horrible if I missed a week here or there for some other reason. So I'm going to avoid doing that as much as I can. All right. So with all that being said, what's going on today, guys? I always talk about this day in history, but if y'all know what's going on, let me know. I do know two things. It's it's National Recover from the Sugar Rush that you get from all your Easter candy day. I don't know if that's official, but I'm going to submit it as my own holiday because I had a few bits of Easter candy yesterday. But I do know it's National Caramel Day, which it sounds pretty good for me. It's National Deep Dish Pizza Day. Yeah, I'm not picky. I'll eat my pizza any such way. It can be thin crust, it can be deep dish, it can be stuffed crust, whatever. But today we get to celebrate by eating the panned pizza, which fantastic way to eat it. And it's National Nebraska Day. One of the few states, not a few states, there's a lot of states I haven't been to here in the U.S., but never been to Nebraska. I'd like to go. I'd like to see the Cornhuskers play a football game. If any of y'all are from Nebraska, welcome and celebrate your day, because today is National Nebraska Day. And Don, I guess Deep Dish Pizza Day is a little bit different from it is a little bit different from regular pizza day. I'm sitting there looking at my Cliff Notes page. That's kind of embarrassing. It's not March 29th. It's April 5th. Old Boss Hog's a little behind the times, huh? All right, let me change that up so I don't incredibly confuse all of y'all. It's just been one of those kind of days. But anyway, now I guess we get a special day for deep dish pizza. Let's have a deep dish pizza, thin crust pizza, and we'll just have a different day for every single day. I went over, I was in the Middle East once. I eat pizza all over the world because there's two things I've discovered that no matter where I've traveled around the globe, two things that I can always order that they rarely will let me down. One is French onion soup. I used to eat all the time when there was nothing else that looked like it tasted well at all. I could always order a French onion soup down in South America. Sopa de cebolla is how you pronounce it in Spanish. And it always tasted the same no matter where you were. So I had a lot of French onion soup, and pizza was the other one. Pizza margarita is typically how it's pronounced in a lot of places. But I've had a few interesting ingredients for a while. I was over in India, and I was waiting at the airport to fly back home, and there was a Pizza Hut there. I said, "Oh, that's great. I've been eating so much Indian food. I may have told y'all this before, but if so, bear with me. So much Indian food here. I'm just going to get me a good old-fashioned pizza on the way back home. So I ordered a good old-fashioned pizza. No beef. You know, you don't do that in India. It had chicken on it, which is fine with me. But the chicken had curry all over it, just like everything else I ate over there. It tasted good. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Indian food. But sometimes you just want to step away a little bit and go back to a little normal, a little less spicy. Wasn't that case. So I had a curried pizza while I was over in India. Good, but spicy. While I was over in the Middle East in United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, in fact, I think is where I was at. I was at a hotel, and I ordered a pizza. And over there, you don't get pork or anything else because Islam, Muslim, and all that. But I went a little exotic. I ordered a squid pizza. So as a pizza, cheese on there, the tomato sauce, and everything, and just squids covered the whole pizza. Little bitty ones. It's not like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea covering up the whole pizza. Just tiny little squids, but across the whole thing. They're kind of like chewy pepperonis, I suppose. They were good. I've never called Domino's here in the U.S. and said, do y'all have squid? I'd love to put some squid on my pizza. They probably figure it's a joke and hang up on me. But over in the UAE, I had squid pizza, so you can't ever take that away from it. I'd order it again if I found it somewhere. It was pretty good. Spicy pizza sounds like fun. Anthony, normally I love my pizza spicy. I like to put jalapenos on it. In fact, one of the things I like to do is put jalapenos on it for the spice, and then on the other half, I'll put pineapples, which some people hate it, but some people get upset if you put pineapples on there. But I get spicy on one side, pineapples, which are kind of sweet and cooling effect on the other side, flip back and forth, and it makes a perfect dish. All right, let me look at a few of these comments and see what y'all are talking about. I saw a spicy pizza sounds like chicken vindaloo, spiciest dish I've ever ate. David, I have had some spicy Indian food. It's a different kind of spice. I handle the Mexican spices, and I say Mexican. True Mexican food, like you get in Mexico City, is not spicy. What we eat here in Texas and other parts of the U.S., we call Mexican food. It's really Tex-Mex with all the spices. But I've had some spicy Mexican food down here. But the Indian food is just different because I'm not used to it. The Indian food, the Asian food, a little bit different. Tim's saying, do you like Peeps? Well, Tim, let me tell you a little story about the Peeps. Hence the one of the reasons for the background I got behind me. But besides the fact I just thought it was a fun little deal. Had some special Peeps this weekend. I think Nicole Anthony had posted something about some Pepsi flavored Peeps or something. I don't know. If I want my carbonated sodas, I'll just drink them straight from the can instead of mixing them in with some Peeps. But what I did have was a special flavor of Peeps. I should have brought the box with me. Hot tamale Peeps. Remember those hot tamales? They look like little jelly beans and they're spicy cinnamon flavored. Well, they now have Peeps that are hot tamale flavored. And those are pretty good. I had a few of those yesterday. I had a few of them today as well. Here's one thing I learned a long time ago when it comes to Easter. If my wife, if Sharon is responsible for the shopping, preparing for Easter and all, she tends to buy a lot of the Easter candy that she knows the kids are gonna enjoy, that they really like. I, on the other hand, am thinking ahead a little bit, and I buy the candy that I know Kelly and Daniel will eat, but I also make sure to buy a few of the types of candies that I know they're not as fond of, such as Peeps, because if they don't eat it, it means it all comes back to Dad. And so hot tamale Peeps was a perfect example. They both looked at that and said, yeah, that's Dad's. We're just going to leave that with you, Dad. And I gave him a thumbs up and said, all right, well, hadn't counted on that, but sure, I'll take them. So yes, Tim, I do like Peeps in limits. I can't eat 100 of these things or whatever. Yeah, they're so sweet, right? But one or two. I've never tried it, but as I'm sitting here talking to you, I need to save some of these Peeps so when it gets a little warmer out, we go outside at the campfire and all that. Peep s'mores, that seems like a pretty reasonable deal. Take some hot tamale Peeps, melt them over a campfire with the stick up through the breastbone or whatever, and melt those Peeps up a little bit, put them between a graham cracker. That sounds kind of rough. Put them between a graham cracker and a couple of pieces of chocolate. That may be okay. That may be a hog invention right there, some Peep s'mores. I'm sure someone else has tried it, but I'll claim ownership of it because I've never tried it before. All right, let's see. Don's saying, hey, Cliff, do you prefer the holiday variations of Reese's over the original Reese's peanut butter cups? I don't know. I don't really care what shape they are, Don, as long as you got that peanut butter on the inside and the chocolate on the outside. No, I love Reese's peanut. I gotta be careful on those things because they're like Lay's potato chips. I can't eat just one. Yeah, you buy those Reese's peanut butter cups. They're like a package of 3. And I always start off saying, "Well, I'm just gonna eat one of those cups, and I'll leave the other 2 for later." It never happens. They're all gone within a span about 15 seconds or so. Yeah, I love the Reese's peanut butter cups. Now I did a poll. I don't know if y'all all saw it on Instagram, but I did a little poll on what do y'all prefer more, the Reese's peanut butter cups, be it holiday or regular, Reese's peanut butter cups, or the Cadbury cream eggs. And do y'all know what I'm talking about there? Oh, yeah, big, about the size of a real egg, but they're chocolate on the outside. They've got white and yellow cream on the inside. And I ask everyone, what's your preference? I'm curious to see what y'all say out here as well. But the official results, it's about 76% last I saw preferred the Reese's peanut butter cups. And I can't complain about that. The Lord knows I'll eat either one of them. And I've eaten my fair share of peanut butter and chocolate. So I maybe would vote that way too. But I got to say, the Cadbury cream eggs are so wonderful. The thing with those, though, is I can only eat one. Just one, and it's so sweet. It's so rich. That's it for me. So my body limits the intake of those things. So does that mean it's healthier for me? I'm not sure you can ever eat Cadbury cream eggs and call it a healthy choice. But at least my body says, yeah, stop at one. You're good at that point. Whereas those peanut butter cups, I can eat 50 of them. If there was a professional eating championship, instead of eating hot dogs like they do up at Coney Island, if they had Reese's peanut butter cups, I'd look like Jabba the Hutt by the time we got done. But I could put down a few of them. I think I could win the championship. They would be giving me the belt. It'd have to be a big old wide belt. I tell you that much. After I got done eating them, but hey, I'd love to give it a try. Forget the steakhouse and the 72-ounce steak. Give me 72 ounces of peanut butter cups. I'm going to town. I'm taking care of business. All right, let's see, guys. I didn't have anything planned tonight. This is just me having a little fun, so I hope y'all bear with me here. A late night, John Oliver, late night talk show with the best British accent ever. We got a lot of people from the UK that do talk shows over here, don't we? Isn't that Craig Ferguson and what's his face over on CBS? A lot of Brits that do talk shows over here. All right, let's say I don't really like the ridges on regular Reese's peanut butter cups. Don, they never are in my mouth long enough for me to feel the ridges. They're in, they're gone, and you're moving on to the next one. All right, Parker's helping me out here. Today in 2000, a fight happened between fans of Leeds United and Galata Soccer Club, SK. I don't know who that, during the UEFA Champions League semifinal. Well, okay. I didn't know that. I guess if it's still being talked about, it must have been one heck of a fight, huh? Those soccer fans, UEFA fans, the hooligans, they even have an official word for the fans that are a little extreme with their behaviors. Hooligans. That sounds like it. That's the most perfect word to describe someone that's just up to no good. Yeah, hooligan. When I'm old, I'm not there yet. When I'm old, I'm going to be sitting down on my rocking chair on the front porch. I'm just going to be yelling, hooligans, get off my yard. Get out of here, you hooligans. Because it's a perfect word, right? All right, so I didn't know that. Thank you very much for that day in history. Now, I do know this day in history back in 1614, 1646. Don't hold me to the year. Sometime right around there. It's only a 30-year variation, right? But way back then, what do we really care? Pocahontas married John Smith. And as a result, we got an amazing Disney animated cartoon out of it, right? Colors of the Wind. I like Pocahontas. I like the little raccoon and the hummingbird that flies around. My kids were at a perfect age for all those Disney movies. Now, I know y'all seen it. Y'all watch them too, I'm sure. But they were at the age when we got to see when The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, Pocahontas, all those princess movies came out in the mid-90s. Just perfect age for my kids. And I love them. Probably my favorite animated Disney cartoon of all time. Even though it's sad. But I love The Lion King. It's just, I like the music of it. I feel like I need a little something to hold up as I'm singing that song. But no, I love a lot of the Disney shows. So yes, thank you, Pocahontas. Thank you, John Smith, for marrying each other. Because otherwise, we wouldn't get such a fantastic. I'm sure they saw some other benefits to it other than just knowing they were going to be in an animated musical at some point on way down the road. But I'm glad they got married for all kinds of reasons. Don saying, I love sugar so much, I'm often on a sugar high. Me too, Don. And here's the thing. Chips and all, hey, I can take or leave chips. It's not that big a deal. But the chocolates get to me. And it was horrible inside the Big Brother house because all the stuff that we didn't have food-wise that we just had to beg for and we still wouldn't get. They gave us all the staples, but they also made sure to give us a big old bag of chocolates every week when they replenished the storage room. And so we'd take those things, we put them in a little ceramic container in the kitchen, and every time you'd walk by there, you're just tempted to eat them. And I know Ovi's talked about it, Nicole's talked about it, I talked about it. None of us could resist. But you started seeing what kind of candies, because they were the variety pack, and you started seeing who liked what. Because pretty soon, by the end of the week, it was nothing but crackles and dark chocolate were in there. All the Hershey's chocolate and all were gone. It was all the dark chocolate and the rice stuff. And so I knew everyone else in the house liked the others. So then you had to start getting a little fast. Get the good stuff before everyone else came through and took it. I never hid any of the chocolate. I'm not going to do that. But I certainly would pick through it and get what I wanted as well. All right, Parker saying a professional eater, Peter Serzwinski. And that's as close as I'm going to come to pronouncing, I think. Ate 30 Reese's peanut butter cups in 2 minutes, 57.3 seconds without drinking water. That's the qualifier that would do me in, I am afraid. Give me enough water to get that peanut butter down. I'm okay. I actually think I could. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot in basically a little under 3 minutes. What's over 20 a minute? 1 every 3 seconds. Nah, I maybe that's pushing it. But without water, ain't gonna happen. But I'd love to try it. That's one of those I'd love to sign up and I don't get 20 in or so and say, nah, you got me, guys. Y'all win. But hey, thanks for the free Reese's peanut butter cups. That was a pretty tasty little meal. Yeah, we have, and I'll talk about this with Easter because, I'll talk about it right now. It was so great. We celebrated Easter this weekend, and for the first time in over a year, I was with my extended family. Obviously, Sharon and I are here at the house, and our kids, we've seen them a couple of times over the past year, but I hadn't seen my mom in over a year, my brothers, their families. So we had the entire extended family all together for this Easter, and that was fantastic. And celebrating Easter, but more importantly, just celebrating being with each other again. Everyone in that group now has either been vaccinated or had COVID or some combination of both of them. So we felt pretty safe, but I had a blast doing that. But I tell you, every time our families get together, we have more contests. And I talk about some of the pranks we played, and we'll talk about that some more. But I was thinking about the competitive eating, and we've done a little bit of that. We had a contest once to see who could eat the most bread. And I don't remember if you were allowed water in that case. I think it was white bread and maybe no water at that point in time. See who could eat a slice of white bread the fastest without any water. And I think it's either my son or my brother who won that contest. They both gave it a good old try. We had another contest to see how many pieces of chewing gum could you put in your mouth and chew at one time. I think it was double bubble, the big old pink stuff. And of course, my son won that competition. I wasn't that surprised at that. He looked like a chipmunk. He had the biggest cheeks and just bubble. He couldn't blow bubbles because there was so much bubble gum in his mouth to start with. It's amazing he didn't choke to death. It's like chewing on a bowling ball by the time he got done. But he beat one of my other brothers chewing a whole lot of bubble gum, and tire your jaw, right? I love chewing gum, but chewing that much gets to you after a while. This particular weekend, we had fun. We didn't have any chewing competitions, but one of my brothers did bring out. Have y'all ever seen those little shock games? It's got like 4 handles. You hold on to it. There's a little beeper. It's like hot potato with a little greater risk involved. You push a button in the middle, it starts beeping down. As soon as the light turns green, you have to hit your button on the handle. And whoever is the last person to hit the handle gets a big old shock in their hand. And it's a pretty decent shock. So we played that game, and lots of people cringing throughout the evening. A lot of people trying to show off that they could hold on to that handle and not be affected. Of course, I saw a lot of people being a little affected after all. We had some cheaters as well. Some people that were putting some things on their hands so that they weren't making actual contact. It's like being in the Big Brother house, the number of cheaters we had in there in our competition. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. We played a lot of pranks not we. I played a few pranks this weekend. I think I told y'all about a few of them, and we'll talk about them some more. All right, let me look at the comments in case I've missed anything, because I'm just so talking away. All right, let's see. I think it'd be cool if Kelly or Daniel ended up on Ma and I's season of Big Brother. Hey, Don, the more the merrier. Now, I personally would not like that, because I don't want to be cheering against anyone, and it would be difficult. I don't even want my 2 kids on Big Brother at the same time, because I don't know. I guess I would, because I'd want to see them get to the very end. Heck, be like Tommy and Christy or something. Get to the very end, and then when it's the 2 of them, then may the best man or woman win. I guess that'd be okay. But I don't want to see all my friends and family all in a single season of Big Brother, because then my allegiances would be torn, and watching y'all backstab and betray each other, that'd be tough. That'd be incredibly difficult. But so let's string it out. Let's just start off with Big Brother 23, 24, and we'll work our way 1 or 2 of y'all at a time. And then I'm going to be so invested in each of these seasons, because I'm going to be cheering you guys on and having a blast with it. Ma saying, I saw someone who looked like you at Hershey Park. Well, Ma, next time you do that, give their name and tell them to reach out to me or something, because someone else did that. And I don't know the name right now. Someone sent me a photo that, when you ride at Splash Mountain at Disney World, when you go down the hill, they take a picture. There was a person that looked exactly like me, to the point of wearing Aggie gear and everything. And unless there was some kind of professional impersonators convention going on at Disney or something, I don't think it was intentional. Now, if it was, I don't know. I wouldn't be offended if I found out there was a Cliff Hogg impersonator out there, as long as he wasn't doing dumb stuff to get me in trouble, right? Yeah, you got to worry about that. But if he's just up on stage and doing his SKD 143, if he's doing things like that, more power to him, I suppose. I guess you consider that flattering if you had impersonators running around. But we know the reality is, they'd say, hey, I'm an impersonator. Guess who I am? And everyone's like, I don't have a clue. Get out of here, guy. I don't know who you are. Where's the Elvis impersonator? Where's the... where are the other the cool ones, the Cher impersonator? But yeah, we don't care about that Cliff Hogg impersonator. But that'd be kind of cool. So no, it wasn't me at Hershey Park. Although, hey, Hershey Park theme park sounds like a perfect combination. So now, if you see him again, tell him to reach out to me and let's compare some DNA, and we'll find out if maybe we got some ancestors that go back a little ways. Wouldn't that be cool if someone that just looked like you? It'd be like the Parent Trap. Y'all seen Parent Trap from Disney, right? If someone that just, I'm walking down the street, I look at him and say, my God, it's like looking in a mirror. You look just like me. And we started comparing DNA and found out that we're like long lost cousins from a generation or 2 back or something. That'd be kind of interesting. How in the world would that ever happen? I don't know. Would we switch places? Suddenly they would just, they'd go home. They'd talk about being on Big Brother, and I'd talk about being a, I don't know, long haul trucker or whatever the other people do. That'd be kind of fun. All right. Amanda saying, hooked on watching competitive eating on YouTube. I've seen a few of those, and it's amazing. A girl won the 72-ounce steak challenge, doing a double challenge. I don't know how they do it. I've seen some of those videos. I've seen little old ladies that you don't even think they could pick up a steak, much less eat a 72-ounce steak. And they put that thing down there like they're a ravenous werewolf or something. I don't know. There are people that completely surprise you. I know that steakhouse over in Amarillo, they've had professional football players who can do the double challenge, eat 144 ounces in 10 minutes or something. But you expect that, right? I mean, they're big old guys. But you get a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, an 80-year-old woman, little old, your granny that's chowing down. Those are the ones that are fun to watch and will catch you off guard. And yeah, I've watched a few of those competitive eating events as well. I like to think that I'm just in the practice phase right now. There's a reason that I do the eating that I do. It's just to get in shape for the professional eating competition. Hey, if they'd had professional eating competitions as part of a Big Brother competition, I think I could have gotten an extra HOH out of it. Maybe. Yeah, just saying, right? All right, Tim, the ball pit on Big Brother 23 season. Hold on, where was I? saw that just a second ago. Are you talking about the ball pit? There may be one. There's a ball pit in Big Brother Canada right now, right? For those of you who are watching that, which I thought was kind of cool. There could be one on our new season. It would be, I got to think it'd be where the boat room was, right? And I like the boat room. I'd hate to think it was just a ball pit in there. Of course, it could be a have-not room. It could be like our camp castaway or whatever they called it I don't even know what they call that now, but it could be up in that little second floor room, a big old ball pit. I'd have fun with it until they said there's like a little needle hidden in there that you had to. They probably wouldn't hide a needle there, right? That sounds a little dangerous. A grain of rice or something that you had to find to win a veto. That would make it a little bit less fun. Chickadee saying that you're at work, so you're only listening. Well, Chickadee, thank you, and you're not missing that much. I can give you a visual description. There's a police lineup of a bunch of peeps with one chicken lined up in between them, and feeling like he's getting a little betrayed at this point in time. So we'll leave it at that. And in case you don't know, I'm wearing my cowboy hat. So yeah, I feel like you're pretty much up to speed at that point in time. But thank you, especially working and listening to me. Well, I hope I don't screw. I hope the work gets done. Don't get in trouble because of me, because I'd hate to have that happen. But thank you. I appreciate the dedication. I absolutely do. All right. Let's see. I told you I'll meet me at the station someday. It's the last train to Clarksville. And I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head all day long. Alex is saying, or Anthony's saying, everybody has a twin. They say, I believe that. How many people? 404 billion people in the world. I don't even know what the numbers are. I haven't counted in a while. It takes a little while to count, right? But lots of people in this world. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that there's someone that looks a little bit like me. Hopefully my wife can tell a difference, and the people important in my life. So I'd hate to come home and find out that someone just pulled a fast one on my wife and kids and sitting there eating at the dinner table, and they don't know that it's not me. Now that'd be a little crazy. That's like Twilight Zone creepy, right? But who knows? Yeah, I think there's twins for everyone out there. I've seen them. I've seen the pictures at Splash Mountain and now at Hershey Park apparently as well. Angie saying playing the IKEA ball pit was a favorite childhood activities. We've got an IKEA down here now, but I guess there's a little IKEA didn't come along until I was. Not that I still don't have fun playing in the ball pits, right? But I don't know. At my age, when there's all the kids in the ball pit, when I go say cannonball and jump in the middle of them, I get a lot of moms mad at me. I don't know why they're so frustrated, except for the kid I land on. And then, okay, I kind of understand that. But yeah, I'm just a big kid at heart. So let me play in the ball pit as well. But according to security guards, that's not allowed. Whatever. But I'm just kidding, right? Yeah, I love playing in the ball pits. That was, yeah. I don't really jump in the ball pits, and I don't really crush the kids when I jump in there. So yeah, I'm just joking, kind of. Not just joking. But yeah, I've told y'all before. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and I had to grab kids out of those ball pits. I searched for a wedding ring once, all kinds of stuff, and a lot of things that are not as nice as wedding rings. So yeah, there's the downside. To the ball pits, but hey, such a fun activity, such an easy way. Just get out there and relax. It's like you're at the ocean or something, except for the multicolored balls all around you. Hayden said, was it hard to sleep in a have-not room? I guess your camp room was relatively comfortable. Well, Hayden, how about this? I never had to sleep in a have-not room because I was never a have-not. No, sir, not indeed. But here's the thing. The reason being is the first week that we had to have nots, I was HOH. And so I got the little note card that said, Cliff, you have to select 4 people to be have nots for this week. And actually they're pretty much volunteered. Mickey and Kat and Tommy and who else? I don't remember who else it was. But anyway, so I had 4 volunteers for going on slop and being a have not the first week. And I didn't even have I was HOH, so it couldn't be me. The next week, when it potentially could have been me, it was the competition. That was the poisoned ivy, where we're hanging onto the ropes, and whoever hangs up the longest wins. And Holly won that competition. Well, that particular week, the have-nots were the first 3 people that fell off of those poisoned ivy, fell off the vines. Well, because I was the outgoing HOH, I didn't compete in that competition, so I wasn't eligible to be a have-not that week either. And it turned out to be, who was it that week? Sam and Nicole and Jessica, I think, were the 3 have-nots. So that was it. Now, the next week, we had already talked and realized that it was Nick and Holly and myself and Sis. And we said, okay, well, 3 or 4 of us will volunteer because we haven't been have-nots yet. So if they need us, unless it's a competition and we don't have a say, if they just ask for volunteers, we'll volunteer to be the have-nots since it's kind of our turn and all that. Well, then the have-nots disappeared, and I don't know why. I've heard rumors here and there, and I'm going to leave it right there at that they're rumors. But for whatever reason, we only had a couple of weeks of have-nots, so I never had a chance to sleep up in the camp room, Hayden. But having said that, it was hot downstairs. There were nights where the lights just build up the temperatures, and it was just hot. And so I was faced with sleeping in bed. I could either pull the blankets over me and just be miserably, brutally hot while I tried to sleep, or rip all the sheets off and just be sleeping there in my sleep shorts or my underwear or whatever, and the rest of my body just on view for anyone who wants to see. And not that fazed me a whole lot, but yeah, trying to be a little discreet here and there. But there were times where it was so hot downstairs that I really think, I know Tommy would go up and sleep in the have-not room sometimes, just because that was the coolest room in the whole house. Literally the coolest room. The AC just worked perfectly up there. And it felt, in the middle of the day, sometimes it was nice just to go up there and hang out for a little while and just get that cold air blowing on you and enjoy a little bit. So I don't know if it would be, now the beds themselves were a little bumpy and not leveled and all of that. So that'd be a little tough to live with, but temperature wise, it wouldn't have been too bad. All right, let's see. Props to the people who do Naked and Afraid. I could never even be naked in my own house, except for the bathrooms. Let's see. We'll come back to that in a second. Jeffrey, being in the Big Brother would drive me up the wall and go stir crazy. Oh, God, the only reality you do Naked and Afraid. All right, guys. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Here's the deal. Naked and Afraid. Yeah, being naked, whatever. I don't care. They blur it all out anyway. So other than the cameraman and everything, whatever. I could live with that. The thing that would get me on Naked and Afraid are two things. One, it's always too cold out there. I don't like being cold on just a regular old day when I'm wearing a pair of jeans and a shirt and my arms get a little cold. But forget about it when I'm sitting there naked and it's 40 degrees outside and it's raining on me. I'd be like, hey, all right, that's it. I'm tapping out. I've had enough. That was the longest 15 minutes of my life, guys, but I'm through. I think I'd last a little longer than that, but maybe not. I don't like the cold, and I've told y'all stories before about I can't stand the cold. So that would be my Achilles heel. But the other thing would be those bugs. Those freaking little, not the big old mosquitoes like we've got here in Texas that look like hummingbirds, but those little tiny gnat things that just buzz in your ear and bite you all over. And it would be that would be the tough part. And so yeah, feel for the editor whose job it is to put the blur on. They see a whole lot more than we see, right? And I gotta say, yeah, you're sitting out there for 21 days straight. After 21 days, I doubt there's anyone that looks good naked, right? That editor probably is like, oh, geez, come on, come on, guys. Yeah, you got the little canvas bag. Why don't you make yourself a little loincloth? Give me a break here, guys, because that doesn't seem to happen that often. But I'd try Naked and Afraid. Why not? But again, my Achilles heel would be those freaking little biting bugs in the cold weather, and that'd be a little tough for me. I'd love to see Cliff return for our season so that we won't miss Cliff Notes. Well, all right, here's the thing, Don. If you or Ma are on Big Brother and I'm in there as well, you're going to miss the Cliff Notes because I've learned my lesson. I'm not speaking out loud anymore. I'm going to hold that microphone right up to my mouth and I'm going to whisper. I'm going to whisper better than anyone else in my house has ever been able to do it because I'm not getting overheard again. Unless I want you to hear what I have to say. And I've always thought that'd be an interesting strategy. Just wait until you maybe hear a little movement in another room and then start talking about whatever lies that you want people to fall for. Because if they hear you talking to yourself, who tells lies to themselves out loud, right? I think there's something to be said for that strategy. Somewhere down the road, I hope someone does that. And I hope they call that the hog move or something. I don't know. Give me some kind of credit for being such a goofball. I got overheard while I was in the boat room. But that's all right. It worked out. You know, I never said I played a perfect game. I just gave it everything I had. I gave it 100%, but I never said I played a perfect game. All right, let's see. Can't stop laughing at the ball pit joke. Oh, a lot of laughing. A lot of laughing would go on if you saw me doing a cannonball into the ball pits, right? Especially when it's just me laying in the middle, looks like a nuclear explosion. All the balls are all up around the outsides, and I'm just laying flat in the middle of that thing. Not a ball within 3 feet. And they said, "Damn, I guess we need some more balls in here." Yeah, Jeffrey's saying we should all learn sign language, and Cliff can give us his notes that way. Now, wouldn't that be smart? I wonder if Big Brother would let you do sign language. Probably not, because here's a rule. It's you aren't allowed to speak in a foreign language while you're inside the house. At least in terms of trying to communicate with someone else. Like Jessica, her family's Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rico, and so she speaks fluent Spanish. I don't speak fluent, but I speak enough. I could have had a conversation and said a few things without other people hearing, but you're not allowed to do that. You have to speak in English. You can't use foreign languages as it's not cheating. It seems like it's just an advantage that you've earned if you speak the language. But it's probably for all of us at home that would feel like we're missing out if we're watching the live feeds. Like, oh, geez, that guy's speaking Russian, Portuguese, throw in whatever language none of us would recognize, and we're missing out on everything. So maybe that's the reason they don't allow it. But yeah, I don't know about sign language. I got to say this. I saw a few people using some sign language a few times while I was in that house. And there were some universal signs that I think they didn't have to worry about any of the live feeders misunderstanding what they were saying. They were pretty obvious signs that a few people were more than happy to communicate to the rest of the house once or twice. So some sign language is allowed, I suppose. You just have to be careful about what you're trying to say, right? And Ma saying, I'm going to attend your Cliff Notes. I'm dedicated. All right, well, I don't know. If there's other people in the boat room with me while I'm talking, are they still Cliff Notes, or is it just me strategizing at that point in time with my alliance? Because obviously we would be in alliance together. Who knows? All right, Don's got to get out here. Don, have a great evening. Have a great week. And thank you, as always, for coming out here. Parker saying, would you do solitary if it was still on? Oh, man, Parker, yes, I love that show. I'm going to have to find it in repeat somewhere. Would I do solitary if it was on? Yeah. I mean, sure. If they call me up and say, Cliff, we want to lock you in a closet and torture you for the next 30 days. And when you get done, you may win a little money, but mainly we just want to torture you for the next 30 days. Yeah, what am I going to say? Yeah, okay, sure. I'm all for it, guys. Just tell me where to sign on the dotted line, because that's just the kind of guy I am. Yeah, I'd do solitary. But for those of you who aren't familiar, you have to do these tasks, but the first person who quits doing the task is eliminated typically. This old. How old? Solitary is 5-10 years old. But every person's in a pod about the size of a very small bedroom, and you don't see anyone else. And so maybe a task is, you've got to do a jump rope, and you've got to keep doing it. And whoever stops first is eliminated. But you don't know that someone else has been eliminated until you stop. So here I am. Okay, Cliff's now done 40,000 jump ropes and lost 80 pounds in the last hour and a half or whatever. But do you want to stop, Cliff, or do you want to take a chance to keep going? Because maybe someone quit an hour and a half ago. Maybe someone messed up on skip rope number 2, but maybe not. Maybe 40,000 jumps isn't enough, and if you stop right then, you're still out. You're out because you're the first one out. So every person, every task in that show had to push themselves to their limit and beyond because they never knew what it was going to take. So it was. Yeah, it was a fun show. I'd love to do it, absolutely. But I don't know. Yeah, I'd love for it to come back. I don't know that it will. It's probably considered a little too rough for these people. All right, who's that up there? Boss and Nisi Tu New Poti. All right, you're probably trying to get me to say something that's some horrible curse words. And is that Italian? Maybe. I'm not saying it. I'll just leave it at that. How about that? All right, Angie. Hey, Angie. On the Big Brother Canada feeds, Beth and Jed have been sleeping together in the HIH room. Guess she chose Jed over Ty. Man, those showmances. I don't know what it is about that house. Well, I kind of do. First of all, it has a lot to do with casting, right? You pick the people. If you're going to try out for Big Brother and ask if you would ever consider being in a showmance, whether you would or not, it may not be a bad idea to say, sure, I'd consider it. Unless you're married, and then reconsider how you answer that question. They didn't ask me the question because they knew what the answer was going to be. They better have known what the answer was going to be. But if you're single, you may want to consider saying yes. But so a lot of it has to do with casting. But once you get inside that house and you're so cut off from everything else, and you're so wanting just to find someone that you can trust and depend upon. So I kind of see how the showmances start up because of that. What I can't figure out is why anyone thinks that no matter how solid and strong a showmance you think you have in that house, why you think it's going to last once you get outside. And yes, I know there have been Brendan and Jordan and Tyler and Angela, and we've had some showmances, Rachel and Brendan, Jeff and Jordan is the one I was thinking of, and Tyler and there have been some showmances that truly did last outside the house, but I wouldn't count on it. It's such a strange situation. How could you ever think what happens in there is going to carry over to the regular outside world? And Jessica and Cody. So I've heard people say before, we've had more connections formed in the Big Brother house than on the Bachelor or Bachelorette. And I believe that. But, part of it, the Bachelor and Bachelorette, the whole objective is to find your partner, which puts, I think, pressure on you to say you're interested in someone, even if in the back of your head you're thinking, I don't know. Why not? That's how you win a show, so I'm not going to say no. But whereas in Big Brother, I think it maybe is a little more organic, if you can ever say something about that in such a weird situation as Big Brother. But anyway, all right, Anthony, don't give away your plans, Cliff Hogg. Y'all are my family out here, so I'm happy to tell y'all. You just better not tell anyone else, right? Of course, anyone else who watches YouTube later, I was just kidding. None of those plans are what I'd really do if I ever came back and asked. No, never at all. Rumor has it that Big Brother 23 will all be single people, Brian's saying. I guess I could see that. I hope not. I don't want this to turn into Temptation Island or something like that. Love Island, one of those kind of shows. I think you need a wide range. I think you need, we've heard a lot of talk about the diversity, which I'm all for. I think it's going to make it a lot of fun. But I also want to see diversity in age, in everything, every possible way you could have as many different people as possible. I'd love to see it, which includes having some single people and some married people. Hopefully not a whole lot of people that don't know which way they may be leaning in that direction. You kind of have to, I'd hope you have to declare one way or the other. There may be some people that claim otherwise, but I don't want to see all single people. Because there's more to the game than just the showmances. So I want to see a good mix. But it's not like that. I'll tell you this much. I don't think we're ever going to have a Big Brother season where it's all married couples, because I'm sure they'd say, that's kind of boring. We got to have the people that are acting a little wild and crazy inside the house. So I hope we continue to get a decent, good mix. Tim saying, did you see Julie stepping down as host of Big Brother? I saw something mentioned on that. And then I also saw that she may have mentioned that that particular rumor on April 1st, which, I don't know, put the two together. And then until I hear Julie continue to talk about it, I'm going to assume that was just a fantastic Big Brother joke, the fantastic April Fool's joke. But I saw a little post that Julie said it. I don't know. I can't picture Survivor without Jeff Probst. I can't picture Amazing Race without Phil Keegan. But they also have a little more to do with the show. I mean, Jeff sits there at the tribal councils and all of that. Julie is a host of Big Brother, but she's at the front of the house. She's at the stage. So other than just hey, Julie, how you doing on eviction night, we don't have nearly as much to do with her as some of the other reality shows have to do with their hosts. So if she ever thought that there were other things that she wanted to do and she quit the show, I don't think the show will ever quit her. I mean, I think she'd have to leave voluntarily, but if she ever chose to do it, I think the show would still be able to survive. It would work out okay, but I hope that's not the case. I hope she's around for at least a while longer. All right, let's see. Stop all the pretty people. How boring. Hey, Ma, I tried to change it. They did throw me in, so we try a little bit of that here and there. Slate, will you be doing this summer's Big Brother like last year? When does it start? I don't know when it starts yet. I am assuming the middle of June, because that's typically when these shows start. And will I be doing what I did last year was the overnight feeds, watching it all night long and then doing a recap of it. I'd like to. Will I? I don't know just yet. I'll have to see what my status is, my schedule and all that. But if I don't do it every single night, I'm going to do something, even if it's a couple of times a week update, or I don't know. I'd love to do it every night. I don't know. I got some pretty dark bags under my eyes last season when I did this. It's hard to stay up all night long to do that. Especially, there's some nights where it got really boring watching these people communicate. But I did it. I give it all for Big Brother, whether I'm in the house or not. So, I'd like to do it again this year. We'll see. Maybe so. Alex saying definitely Julie could get replaced. Yeah, she could if she wanted to do something else, and then the show would survive. But I don't think it's going to happen this year. I truly don't. Hayden, did Nick Macarone have a charm that I couldn't see? He certainly was a ladies' man. Well, I can't speak on behalf of the ladies, Hayden. Don't know how to comment on that. But I got to say this: Nick was viewed by most of us in the house as a friend to everyone. There was no one that just, well, there's a few people that hated Nick here and there at times, but Nick was very friendly with everyone. He was a charismatic guy, and so when he finally was evicted, it's because I think everyone knew he was playing so many different sides that no one thought they could 100% trust him to support their side. I know that was my position. I wanted to work with Nick so much, but I knew he kept gravitating back towards Tommy and the other side of the house, and so I just couldn't trust that I could count on him to ever actually support me when it came down to it. So yeah, he had a lot of charisma in that house. Now, from a romantic side, I don't know. I'll leave that out to other people to comment on that. Hayden saying your daily updates are the best. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'd like to think it's because I love this show, and it just makes it easy to talk about the show and give the updates with I don't know, a little bit of passion. And now having been in the house, it's a lot easier for me to say, I know what this guy's thinking. He's wrong, but I understand why he's thinking what he's thinking. Or, oh, that knucklehead, why'd he go to bed at 10 o'clock? And he should have been up listening to these people because now he's going to be in it. So, yeah, I feel like I have a little insight, so I appreciate it, Hayden. I have fun doing it. It just wears on me towards the end of the season. Plus, last season, I mean, I love Big Brother. Don't get me wrong, but last season was not quite as much chaos as I expected. Kind of drug a little bit at times. There's only so many of the same conversations that I can listen to. But I've got to say, there were a few, even last season, where people said it was kind of a boring season. There were a few conversations in there that were so much fun. Listening to Enzo talk about him having a job selling crayons and how embarrassed he was to sell crayons to the point that he wouldn't sell them in his own city. He would drive down the road in New Jersey and go to some other city to sell crayons because he was so embarrassed about the job he had. Yeah, those are the kind of nights that I live for, to do some updates on stuff like that. That was a hilarious night. He had that. Nicole talking about how she applied at the Dollar General store, and they said, we'll get back to you. And then she said, I just live around the corner. I'm like, a 2-minute walk. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get back to you. And they never got back to her. That's a little rough. But so yeah, I love doing the updates, and I'll try to again if I can. Cindy just got on, was out at the Olive Garden. Oh, Cindy, you know what? I think you may have made the better choice. As much as I love to sit out here and talk, as much as I love having y'all out here, I'm not sure the endless pasta bowls or those salads or those breadsticks. It's tough to compete with those things. I kind of got a hankering for Olive Garden right now. Oh, all right, I got to stop. I was going to tell you all these things I forgot all about. Oh my gosh, we got to do it quick now because I talked about Easter, talked about my family, talked about some of the challenges, the electric guns and everything. What I didn't talk about was some of the pranks that I did this weekend that were a lot of fun. I showed y'all last week the Carolina Reapers Chiefs Puffs that the local grocery store sells down here, and they are so hot. They are so brutally hot. Well, I bought one of those bags, and then I bought a bag of just regular old Chiefs Puffs, and I emptied out about half of those regular old Chiefs Puffs and filled up the top part with those so spicy ones, and just set it on the table where all the rest of the food was being served. And then I just took a seat a little ways back and just watched people come up and start trying out the food. And eventually they all moved on to the cheese puffs because, we're a cheese puff kind of family. And I got to say, some people really like the cheese puffs. Some people really did not like the cheese puffs, but no one expected spicy cheese puffs when they bit into them. My sister-in-law immediately ran to the garbage and spit it out and thought it was the most disgusting thing in the world. My son and a whole lot of nephews and everything loved them, and they ate the whole bag before I even had a chance to play the prank on everyone I wanted to play the prank on. So they really appreciated the spicy flavors. My nieces, my 7-year-old and my 3-year-old niece, they weren't so fond of the cheese puffs, and actually, especially the 3-year-old. I really didn't intend for her to bite into one, but hey, I'm an equal prankster when it comes down to it. She bit into it. They drank a lot of water and they thought it was disgusting, but they handled it better than my sister-in-law did. I say that. My daughter Kelly, she was not a fan. She thought it was hilarious. She was laughing watching the whole thing, but she wasn't going to get anywhere close to those cheese puffs. She did not like the flavor. My son loved it. Kelly, not so much. So I had an extra bag, at the end of the weekend, I gave it to Daniel to take home. He was happy. Kelly was happy that I gave it to Daniel as well. But yeah, so I got a lot of people with the Chiefs bus. We had fun with that. Now, the other prank that I did that was a lot of fun is the Easter Bunny came to the house where all the family was. But before the kids got a chance to go out and explore for the Easter eggs, old Boss Hog may have put a little bit of an addition to the Easter egg hunt. And it came in the form of old Mr. Heavy Rubber Old Snake. Yes, indeed. This was a fun one. I plan ahead. Except when I do this. I took a snake from the house. I took a snake from my house. I took it with me up to my mom's house and waited till no one was paying attention. I went out and found a little section where I saw a few Easter eggs, and I just kind of laid the snake down in some grass next to him. And then I just watched. And the 7-year-old and the 3-year-old, once again, were maybe some of the first ones to discover the snake. And the 3-year-old was smart enough that when she saw her older sister see the snake and start yelling, she backed away and said, yeah, I don't need eggs that much. You're good over there. But the 7-year-old saw it, and it certainly got her attention. And she went running and said, I think there's a snake over there, which meant all my older nephews and sons and daughters and everyone else had to go check it out. And every time someone would come up to it, they'd look in there and they'd say, oh my God, yeah, indeed, it is a snake. And it would have worked for more people, but I can't keep a straight face. I'm over there, I'm laughing. And as soon as people see something scary and then they look over and they see Cliff laughing, they put 2 and 2 together. And at the end of the day, they say, yeah, Cliff, all right. So I tell you, our dog was there. She was very interested in this snake as well. So yeah, I had a fun thing doing the pranks itself. Yeah, and my mom saying there caused some heart attacks. I had fun with it. And here's the thing, I'm going to take it back next year, and they're going to forget all about it, and I'm going to get to do the pranks all over again. But that's not the only prank that happened during the show. I got Big Brother on my mind tonight. So I had a little rubber fake snake, which was a lot of fun. I'll tell you all the story one time about using a snake like this, pulling across the room when my kids were little. I thought it was funny. The rest of my family, they didn't appreciate the humor back then. My kids were little, probably too little for it. So I caught a little grief for that. So, but they learn. Now they know. They've grown up with me and the pranksters, and so they know what to expect. But we had another little event that I had nothing to do with. Woke up in the morning. Again, Easter Bunny had come. But not just the Easter Bunny. I had a big old armadillo sitting in the backyard. Now, if y'all go out and look at my Instagram post, it's not on my story. It's on my permanent post. I've got a picture I took of this armadillo, and it's a decent size one. It's for those of you who don't know, armadillo, I don't know what you call it. It's got a big old hard shell on the outside of it, a little tail, a little snout, looks a little bit like an anteater with a turtle shell on top of it or something. That's the best way I can describe it. But saw an armadillo. Now, armadillos are good. They're good animals to have. They eat bugs and I don't know. They eat all the bad things. So it's not bad to have an armadillo, but it still kind of catches you off guard when you're walking outside, getting ready to hide the snake, and you see another creature coming right towards you. So we had an armadillo. I was very happy that the armadillo apparently doesn't like Easter candy because he left all that alone. He's too busy chasing the bugs, I guess, which works for me. Armadillo, leave the Easter eggs and the Easter candy alone. Go get the bugs, and we're going to have a fantastic relationship together. But yeah, I had fun Sunday morning just watching this armadillo crawl all around the backyard for a good long while, and had a blast with it. So we had our own version of the Easter Bunny, the Texas armadillo instead. There is such a thing as armadillo eggs, which I think involve more shrimp stuffed jalapenos with bacon on the outside. Sounds pretty good, right? I think they call it with some cream cheese mixed in to make the egg. It's not like that. Look it up. There is such a thing as armadillo eggs, but I don't think armadillos actually lay them. And I've never seen them make them multicolored and things like that. But I don't know. I was going to say if there were armadillo eggs sitting out all around the yard, I'd be happy. But I don't think I'm going to eat a lot of those things if an armadillo leaves them behind. That may be a little suspect right there. Moss saying the snake on my neck is giving you anxiety. Neil? All right, just for you, Ma. I kind of got that Steve Irwin look, don't I? Ah, crikey, bake. What am I gonna do with this? It's enough of my Steve Irwin impersonation. You know, I don't know. I kind of have the hat. I could. Maybe that's another job. Maybe I need to go work in a zoo a little bit. I could go wrestle the alligators or something. I never turned down any opportunity, any risk, within reason. So I think my wife may have something to do with me going out and wrestling alligators. I may not be quite quick enough for that. So give me chase chickens instead. I could probably do that. All right. Reminds me of Ross dressing up as an armadillo on Friends. Angie, I saw that. I was looking for pictures of armadillos even for the show, and I saw the ones of Ross dressed up. And I gotta say, there's some hilarious. I need to go back and watch Friends because there are some hilarious episodes I forget about until I see these little screenshots and things like that. Hayden, a gator prank next year? Yeah, you're not going to catch me trying to catch a gator and putting it in my mom's backyard. I think some people may think that's a little bit on the extreme end, so I'll leave that to yeah. I don't think I'll do that, but the proof. I think I could get some people a little nervous and running pretty quick if I did that right, including me. I'm not messing with the alligator. No way. All right, it's 8 o'clock, so we're gonna have to shut it down here pretty quick. I started a little late, so I'll give you another minute too. Jeffrey Bays, wrestle the chickens. Hey, I wrestled sheep inside the Big Brother house, right? That was fun. It was hard. It was really hard. Those sheep are fast. I don't know how those sheepdogs do it, but they're pretty good. But yeah, wrestling chickens. What is it? Rocky? One of the Rocky movies where that's his job. Once you catch the chicken, or was it Karate Kid? Once you catch the chicken, then you know you're fast enough to go fight Ivan Drago. Right? So go to it, Rocky. I'd be running for the next year, and I still wouldn't catch that chicken. So maybe that's better. It means I'd never fight Ivan Drago, and I'd live. He's the boy that lived, right? Because he didn't fight that big old 6'10" Russian guy that's got the power hammer. If you haven't watched Rocky IV, that's what I'm referring to. Ivan Drago from Russia. I will defeat you. Yeah, I'm not ever fighting that guy. Sue Log, it reminds me of you posing as a possum on your season. I had so much fun with that, guys. I don't know if y'all remember, but like one of the very first diary room sessions, maybe the first one I ever showed on the show, was me saying, I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to play possum, play dead. No one's going to pay attention. And they actually said, well, Cliff, what does the possum do? And so I laid on the couch and showed them and said, is it okay if I lay down? Oh yeah, Cliff, go for it. Of course, they're all for it. So I lay on my back and say, I'm just a possum waiting for y'all. Just ignore me. When it's too late, then I'll turn around and get you and all that. And I didn't think he'd think about it. It's just me trying to have fun in the diary room. But that really literally was like the first or second day we were in the house and we started going in doing diary room sessions. And that was just one of the ones I did. And again, I was just having fun. I was so happy that I hadn't gotten banished on the first day, that I made it back through the Black Forest and was back in the house, that I was just happy-go-lucky. Man, I was just joy on my face that I was still inside the house. So I had fun playing the possum inside the house. And little did I know, but that was one of the first diary room sessions they actually showed on the show itself. That's okay. I had fun doing it. So that was great. All right, guys, I think with that in mind, it's 8:03. We're right at 59 minutes or so. And so I'm going to shut it down. But again, thank you for bearing with me. I was a little bit nervous I wasn't going to make it tonight, so I'm so happy I did. Y'all have a great week. I hope you had a fantastic Easter. I know I certainly did. And have a great second week of April before you know it. What's today, the 5th or something? It'll be the 12th next week. Man, we're going to be halfway through April. It's going so fast. Y'all have a great week. Stay safe, and I will see y'all next Monday. Until then, SKD143. Love my wife, love my kids. Obviously, I certainly love every single one of y'all as well. Y'all have a great one. Cheers, my friends. Bye. See y'all later. Bye.